start. Okay. All right. Live. Quiet live stream, but just started. Live. Wow, I haven't had to chat this quiet in forever. And just kick back. So good. See if anyone wanders in. There we go. I have the most silent live stream I've had in a while. My live stream on Twitch? Literally no viewers. Oh well. Everyone gets to watch a re-upload then. I'm gonna play the game. Alright, well, it is 7 o'clock. And for those of you guys who are here or not here, It's animefanrk2k here with the Monday Night Livestream. Happy New Year to anybody who's watching, because this is January 1st my time. And there's no banter in the chat or anything. I'm just going to go into the game. Alright. There's a subspecies of woman distinguished by an excessive kind of helpfulness. The burning desire to take care of other people's problems. Within a few days of entering this school, I had a rough idea that So Amane fit this busybody woman classification. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting her to extend her meddling to me quite so quickly. Although I suppose it's inevitable that we'd run into each other a lot since we live in the same dorm, it seems like she's coming up to me at every free moment and playing the big sister. Hey, how's it going, Spicy? He's like, just got in. Thank you, Echo Yamane voice. Wish she put herself in my shoes. It's not easy having to politely shoot her down every time. And she's here. Not wasting any time, are you? Hey, how's it going, Spicy? Happy New Year. Not sure how she got the idea in her head, but lately every time a break begins, Amane has been clinging to me from behind. Then forcefully pressing her oversized lumps of breast blubber against me as if to say, check it out, the big tits character. The way they droop just a little is very popular with enthusiasts. Hey, how's it going, Code? Code? What? Yo, Happy New Year. See ya. Look, you're heavy. Remove your chest flap from my head. On the contrary, I'm something of a fan. Thunder tits. That'd be a very strange turn of events. I prefer that. If a man sexually harasses me, at least I can knock him flat without feeling guilty about it. Oh god, this guy. What do you want from me? If you have something to say, then spit it out already. Yep, it's trapped. Forever. Thanks, sis, but I'm a big boy now. So could you please get lost? Really? Please? It literally looks like she's suffocating him. Stop that. I'm a dainty little thing. I'll break more easily than you think. They say a snapping turtle won't release prey from its bite even if lightning strikes nearby. Amane is a similar beast. Once she clings to me, my only release is the sound of the bell. If this woman kept a pet cat, I'm positive it would go bald from stress within a week. Oh man. I'm not confident my own hair will be safe if I allow these assaults to continue. I think it's about time I get my message across, even if it requires taking a somewhat harsh attitude. That's about enough. Just as I begin to shout, Sakage appears with a spectacular timing. What? Yumiko grimaces at Amane's response. Her glare is expressive. Aye, who are you supposed to be? Aye, what the hell is with that accent? Hey, how's it going, Vanitas? Welcome. Oh yeah, we got a lot of Machina last time, didn't we? You don't have to tell me, bye. Don't mind me. Oh, that sounds dangerous. By the way, Vinny's happy birthday. Wow, Happy New Year. It's a birthday, but for people who are born January 1st. Just hear explosion. The school explodes. The game ends right here. She finally released me. What a noisy woman.
あれ、わざとああしてドタバタして見せているのよ。ネクラだってバレるのがそんなに怖いのかしら。
Depressive? What do you mean?
言葉の通りよ。もう昔のスオーさんのように無駄にうじうじしているよりはマシだと思って私は諦めることにしたわ。
Yes, that type of explosion, yes. You make it sound like you're familiar with her past. Have you known Amane for that long?
そうね。と言っても知り合ってまだ1年程度だけれど。
So Amane wasn't always like this.
何？彼女に興味があるの？
Yes, the class of fools is back. I just don't understand the woman. Why does she drape herself all over me like that?
私が知るわけないじゃない。彼女に直接聞いたらどう？
Somebody tells me that Yuji will just get drowned in Amane's breast again. I did. Oh, flashback. Just the other day, having stocked up on necessities for my new dorm life at the local supermarket, I was wandering leisurely around the area in front of the station.
あれ？ゆうちゃんじゃん。何してんの？こんなとこで。
Don't call me that.
なんで？かわいいじゃん。
Spare me, I can't get any cuter than I already am. All the other girls will get jealous and start picking on me.
そういう言い回し、誰かに似てるって言われない？
Who? Like who?
さあ、それより何？お買い物？
Am I like... Does Yuji sound like Yumiko? Is that why? Yuji says something, a very funny song to Makina? Okay. I'm gonna point it at the plastic supermarket bag dangling from my hand.
ボックスティッシュに乾電池、サラダ油にマヨネーズ、あとはレトルトのカレーにデンタルフロス、それともやし。
Oh, it was pretty quiet. Got some food. Food was good. Look, you. Don't just start rifling through my bag.
カレーを買うなら南口の山陽より北口の松栄の方が安いよ。もやしも松栄さんなら1袋29円だし。
Darn, I could have saved a few yen. You're as knowledgeable as always. Do you wander around comparing prices all day long?
別に毎日ってわけじゃないけど、買い物のたびにチェックはしてるかな。
She's got an impressive devotion to economizing. I felt definite wow, I can't speak today, guys. I felt definite admiration since my master was a sort of wild woman who bought things without even looking at the price tag.
牛乳、卵、野菜を買うなら松栄さん。お魚、お肉、トイレットペーパーを買うなら山陽さんって覚えておくといいよ。
Well, I'm not that caught up on the price. I appreciate the thought, but I just want a store that's convenient. It's all well and good to wander around looking for bargains, but when you consider the increased effort and consumption of time involved, getting too picky frequently turns into a loss.
まあ、男の子はそうだよね。
I mean, not me. I like deals. That's right, I'll be going.
帰るの？
Yeah, I did finish my shopping.
じゃあ、一緒に帰ろうよ。
Why'd she appear here? As soon as the words left her mouth, Amane was standing by my side, firmly grasping my hand. What do you think you're doing?
何が？
This, of course. In demonstration, I raised the hand that Amane had gripped, or rather captured, my fingers entwined tightly with mine. What am I, a kid who won't go home unless Mama pulls him there? Got to admit, I don't remember acting quite that adorably, so I'm very interested in where you're coming from here. Dead. What's dead, Spicy? Still gripping my right hand tightly, Amane raised the forefinger of her other hand against her lip and racked her brains for an answer.
幼い弟の手を引いて家に帰る優しいお姉ちゃんプレイ？
That's a very specific type of roleplay, Amane. Oh, is that it? If it's roleplaying, then I guess I have to play along. Ha, 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 ha. Did you really think I'd say that? Off! I forcefully yanked my arm free, shaking off Amane's grip. If you think that puppy dog face will make me act nicer out of guilt, you're very wrong. Don't flirt in public. That's a rule of mine. Stop twisting my words. The point is, I can't think of a single reason why I should hold hands with you. Dead chat is dead. Yeah, it's true. It's a very quiet live stream tonight, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think currently we are going with 3 people. I believe I'm one of those 3 people because I'm monitoring the number of people watching. You guys are the other 2. Congratulations. It's not an answer to the question why you want to hold hands. Some kind of obsessive compulsive disorder? What sort of accident was it? The hell? As she spoke, Amana took my hand for the 2nd time. Joking? When did the joke start? Ugh, this is irritating. Take the left at least. I can't calm down when someone's got a hold of my dominant hand. I don't know, I don't hold hands with most of my friends. Why get friendly with me? He might have. Hard to say, didn't have any. I wouldn't say I don't. I just want to understand your motive. Oh, that's simple. You're a weird one. Oh my god. That is such a convincing argument. It's so true. I'm going back. Having moved to my left as I requested, Amana didn't mess around any further. On her way back, she calmly acted her age. Holding hands really did seem to be enough to satisfy her. Doubts did run through my head. Considering it's only been a few days since we met, she's bizarrely friendly. But still, as she's a member of our class full of special cases. Special cases. Full of special people. Despite her relatively normal facade, Mana must have had her own unhappy circumstances. This hand-holding may well be may well have some meaning for her. Sounds like Amana just domesticated me very well. We'll make a detective of you yet. Sakaki, what sort of accident was Amana involved in? What the past of the girls are? Okay. When a man meets a woman and they and things happen, a baby is born. I'm pretty sure that's happened to all the girls. That they were born. 10 out of 10. Best theory on the backgrounds of all these characters here. I know. It's great. If it's not something you can talk about, I'll leave it alone. Sounds like a rumor. I get it from the horse's mouth. Car crash? Oh, like a trauma. So she's just making stuff up. Then why was she so persistent about it? It is? Does bad eyesight make you want to hold hands?
さあ、視力が未発達な赤ん坊が何でも口に入れて舌で物体の形状や温度を認識するのと同じで、何でも触ってみないと落ち着かないんじゃないかしら。
Sounds like a theory. A plausible theory. But I'm having a hard time buying it in her case. In the first place, are her eyes that terrible?
知らないわよ。興味ないって言ったでしょ。
I like I'm having a conversation with Yumiko here, and it's like, but I'm pretty sure we're on the worst foot. But I'm wasting my breath talking to you. You're not making any friends here, Yuji.
気が合うわね。私もたった今、あなたとの会話はつまらないと言おうとしていたところよ。
A game theory? No. Vanitas, like, I have no idea. I barely know these characters. How would I be able to guess their childhoods or their past? It was gonna be like Michiru was a very friendly kid, but realized that people took advantage of her friendship, so she wants to ask soon. So people have to like earn her friendship or something. Like I have nothing to really go off of. All right, spicy. If you have to go, you have to go. Guess we're done here. Or we would be, if I hadn't just spotted Komine Sachi out of the corner of my eye. Hey Sachi, you have a minute?
はい、なんでしょう。
Ah, yes. Do you know anything in particular about Amina's past?
いいえ、私は詳しい話は何も。
So in other words, nobody knows the whole story.
あえて聞くような楽しい話題ではないし。
Alright guys, we're gonna make this the best school. Everyone's gonna become super good friends with each other. We're gonna all share our past and be lifelong friends for lifeness.
自分から不幸自問ができるほどに回復している学生ならいつまでもこんなところにはいないでしょうしね。
Oh, are we stuck here? True enough. As long as the person in question doesn't want to discuss it, I suppose I shouldn't pry any further. In the first place, I'm a little dubious that Amana's past really has anything to do with holding my hand.
何かあまねさんが思わず手をつなぎたくなるほどに好かれるようなことをしたのではないですか？
I got friendly with Makina, went shopping with her. We had some banter. No, absolutely nothing. That's taking things in a new direction. Specifically, what do you think I did?
そうですね。例えば、あまねさんが街でヤンキーに絡まれているところを助けたとか。
Lifelong Friends is Season 2? They're saying the sequels to this game, bad things will happen?
雨の日に捨て猫の入った段ボールにそっと傘を置いていったところを見られたとかね。
They're making fun of me. What's so funny? Well, whatever. Neither rings a bell. I have no memories of us being lovers in a previous life either.
そんな記憶があったら気持ち悪いわよ。
Thanks, Yumiko.
この学園に男の人が転入してくるのは珍しいですし、何かこうクラスメイトの男子とそういうデートじみたことがしてみたかっただけなのではないでしょうか。
Oh. You think so? Incidentally, Sachi, does that mean you've got an interest in holding hands and going on a date with me as well? Oh snap! That broke Sachi out of character.
手をつなぐこと自体は嫌ではないですし、俺と手をつなげ、デートをしろと、そう強く命令していただければ、絶対に断らないと思いますけど。
I see. Thank you for your valuable opinion. I'll file it under not helpful in the slightest. How about you, Sakaki?
私があなたと手をつないでデート？
Oh my god, somebody told me she's gonna have a funny reaction. Right, got any interest?
困ったわ。どう答えればあなたを傷つけずに済むのかしら。
Yes! It's the reaction I wanted to see. I get the picture. Thanks so much for your compassion. So in the end, asking around didn't get me anything resembling a clear answer. From what Sakaki said, it doesn't seem like Amane wants to hold hands indiscriminately. The mysteries only deepens.
狭いからぶつけないようにね。大丈夫。なんで言ってるそばからぶつけるかな、あんたは。
Yo, it's the promised comedy bit routine. I'm on it, don't worry.
私はそういう生き物なのよさ。
That too. Just at that moment, Amana enters the classroom pulling Makina by the hand, oblivious to our gossiping. I point my thumb toward the pair and their connected hands. You said Amana doesn't have a habit of holding hands, right?
まあ、イリスさんは特別。手をつないでおかないと、ふらふらとどこかへ行っちゃうような子だし。
Something tells me Yumiko's experienced that. Venice, I'm pretty sure Michiru is the dumbest in this place. Lolly nerd. Preachy. Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year. I feel tanky in this heavy jacket. Also, hi. Oh, welcome. Sakaki watches Amina and Makina as she speaks. Suddenly, she clasps her hands together as if struck by a burst of insight.
あなた、あの子と同列に見られているのではないかしら。
That scarily makes too much sense. Please don't say that, Yumiko. Say what? Yeah. Wait, what? I've been put in the same category. With a kid like this, who you half expect to get lost tottering after a butterfly? What a seriously unpleasant thought.
スオさんは面倒見がいいのよ。なんていうか、言葉は悪いけど、きっとダメ男が好きなんじゃないかしら。
Oh shit. Oh man. Oh man, that hurts. I appreciate that you're probably trying to help. But that's basically an indirect way of saying you look like a hopeless man.
そう言ったつもりだけど。
Sakaki, could you please stop rubbing salt in the wound without even realizing it? It kinda stings.
ああ、心外だわ。これでも随分と高評価しているつもりなのだけれど。
Mind answering one last question for me?
何かしら。
Is there even a single normal person in this school?
言ったでしょ。まともならこんな学園になんていないわよ。あなたを含めてね。
Yeah, that's true. True enough. Don't think you've got some special variety of unhappiness. Sensing the admonition underneath Sakaki's words, I feel the stirrings of something like shame. Whether it's normal or not, the student life isn't bad in its own way. I started to like this place enough to reach that conclusion. It's now June 9th, 2007. A hobby is a window that gives you a fresh perspective on the world, or so my sister said. But when I was a kid, struggling through my daily life was about all I could handle. I disliked and avoided change, even when it might have brought me something new. So my sister's recommendation was to at least try reading books. That sister of mine was an unbelievably voracious bookworm herself. She began to push the ones she finished on me. I soon picked up a reading habit, although I didn't find any particular meaning in it at the time. My sister is dead now, as are my parents and my master, yet I'm still reading. The sister who taught me to read books, the parents who weren't angry at me when I was reading books, and the master who praised me for reading books, buying me as many as I wanted. I'm grateful to them now, since I found some meaning in the act of reading.
Kazami-kun.
Hey, that's me.
今、少し時間大丈夫かしら?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Is this the, let's actually know who the hell Yumiko is moment? Turn around in response to Yumiko's greeting, and find her carrying a sizable load of paperback and hardcover books.
読み終わった本を持ってきたのだけれど、読む?
Sure. Appreciate it as always.
いいのよ。私も読み終わった本の始末ができて楽だから。
Oh snap, it's like a book exchange. As anyone with a long-term reading habit is well aware, books pile up before you know it. That said, it's hard to just throw them away, and selling them to a used bookstore feels disrespectful to the author. The ideal is to find another avid reader to dump them on. Incidentally, before I came, Sakaki had apparently been pushing the book she finished onto the library. By now, she's established her own private shelf in there, full of pleasure reads. Most likely, she spotted me by coincidence as she was carrying her books there, and figured she could save herself the walk. Heavy, right? Here. I slide my hands under the book Sakaki is carrying. Watch it. Don't take your hands off yet. The books are going to fall. Start of Katako Hitman Reborn? Really? I have to watch that series. I have to read it, actually. Of course it is. Don't worry, my hygienic standards are higher than you might expect. You complain too much. Alright, I've got a hold on them. You can let go. That's so? Anyway, I'll gratefully read the books. When I finish one, I'll return it to the Sakaki collections. So if you want to reread any of them, they'll be in the library. It's like the perfect train. Alright, I have all these books, and they're heavy. I'm gonna give it to this guy. He's gonna read all of them, and then after he finishes, he's gonna put it in the library where I can find them again. Perfect. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Take a quick look at the titles of the books I'm holding. Soe Akai, The Decisive Pudding Battle. Kumabata Takaru, Yesterday's Black Cat. Hiro Atsuko, The Exit of the Desert. Seno Takumi, Professor Takada's Dinner. Ethan Crow, An Insolent Woman. Shironome Kazuma, You Blew It, Omori. Although she reads quite a variety of genres and authors, it seems that Sakaki fundamentally likes whodunits. Of the 6 books she's passed me, 4 are mysteries. Come to think of it, I could easily see Sakaki sitting at a detective's desk, using her brain for a living. Flipping open one of the books, I speak toward the shadow of a nearby pillar. Makina, how long do you plan on hiding there? Wait, what? Dun-dun! Pudding Battle. Best. Sounds like Neptune's favorite book. Pudding Battle? Probably. It's the fight for pudding. No. I understand, guys. I do plan to watch Reborn at some point. And read it. I'm not mad or anything. How about you come out? Your aura is too crude. I can sense you even when you're hidden. Makina has a very interesting accent, sounds like. What if the pudding battle was just a bunch of puddings fighting? I just said that for the hell of it. You were casting a shadow on the floor. I could tell it was you from the height in that shaggy head. Oh snap, that was good. Pretty much. Why were you hiding in the first place? Nobody can hide from Yuji. He's a master. You don't get along with Sakaki? Oh, so you're afraid of her. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure Sakaki said something like, I think Yuri-san avoids me on purpose. You're in a state of mutual wariness. Well, I suppose that does happen sometimes. Sakaki, a guarded person who doesn't reveal her thoughts easily, and Makina, who feels most secure when she's burrowed her way into someone's heart. Their personal comfort zones may be incompatible. Well, it's foolish to expect everyone to get along with everyone else in the entire world. There's no need to forcibly push these two together, but at the very least, maybe a mutual compromise is called for. I don't think Sakaki dislikes you, Makina, so try not to hate her. So try not to hate her yourself. I see. It's very simple, Makina. All I have to do is be a cranky individual like myself. Well, it's not like we're particularly close, but we have a common interest in books, so I guess that helped get things started. Of course, I get the idea Sakaki mostly views me as little more than a convenient book disposal. After all, it's hard to say you're friendly with someone who scowls so bluntly just because your hands touch. Makina, do you have any hobbies? Something tells me I already knew this. Solo? That's not good. What? What does little girl tell me? Oh god. What's this pose? She's just like, raise my hands to the sky. What are you doing, Makina? No, also, no. What is this pose? At the company I work at, solitary hobbies are fundamentally discouraged. They place a lot of stress on keeping up some form of communication with others. When it comes to the interests of the employees, the basics are alcohol, women, and gambling, but it's a bit difficult to own up to that in front of the boss. Therefore, when asked, some of them just came up with a safe-sounding conventional hobby like shogi or go. When the superiors reacted favorably to those answers, the end result was that the hobbies column in the employee survey data recorded an overwhelming number of shogi buffs. Although going with the flow is pretty much a defining Japanese characteristic, it's still something of a pathetic story. Well, having given them a nice safe hobby like reading myself, I guess I can't really say too much. Nothing, just talking to myself. Incidentally, once you're the one giving the surveys out, in other words, an executive type, the hobby of choice would be gardening. Not something you can do when you're living out of the barracks. Yeah, it's better to have some interest than not, even if they're really worthless. For example, the aforementioned employees and their wine, women, and song. Even then, if they can help you find a single common interest with someone, your hobbies are worthwhile as social lubricant, even if they're worthless in every other respect. Lewd lolly. Guys, I'm pretty sure that Makina is secretly the little sister type that acts like an old lady type with an accent. This is something I heard secondhand from a senior employee at my job, but sometimes you get cases like this. Oh, it's time to tell another story to Makina. It's Makina, it's story time, yeah! This is a story about a man who took a business trip to Gifu Prefecture. It was a group expedition with the purpose of field testing new equipment that had just been deployed throughout his company. And we drive. At the time, the man in question was a new employee, not even out of his training period. Nonetheless, he found himself taking a long, bumpy ride into the mountains on a company bus, accompanied by the chief of his special department. The man didn't have the first clue why he had been selected for the trip, let alone what he expected to do on it. To make matters worse, he was sitting next to a powerful superior he barely knew. In short, the man was about ready to vomit from sheer terror and anxiety. He fought desperately to keep calm, but his face was pale as a sheet. Another deadly story. The bus finally reached its destination at the foot of Mount Kinka in Gifu after many unpleasant hours. The man's relief was temporary, as his boss informed him they would be attending a large banquet in a high-class inn that night. Corporate banquets are basically a cruel kind of talent show. New employees were expected to perform some skill for the amusement of the gathered VIPs. The newbies from each department mounted the stage one after the other. Quite a few croaked out popular karaoke ballads with stiff faces, but there were also some pretty competent juggling acts. Even one stand-up comedy duo, which got some laughs doing imitations of superiors. The man watched the other acts with a fluttering heart. His turn was approaching fast, but he was basically a walking, breathing lump of artistic incompetence. An asocial type without a single talent worth performing in front of others. Just as he was wondering whether he could escape by pretending a sudden illness, the man was practically kicked out onto the stage by the senior employees. For lack of a better thought, he started to sing. The man didn't know any popular songs. Worse, he couldn't remember any of the standard folk songs or children's music that might have worked in a pinch. The man went instead with the theme song from a superhero TV show, Lightspeed General Daimakarov, which he loved as a kid. By this point, he couldn't help but feel a growing sense of despair. This was, of course, the man's first time singing in public, and he didn't have much of a voice. Within moments, he was showered in jeers from the audience. "The hell are you singing? What's with you? Hey asshole, are you just making that up on the spot? That's enough, get off the stage, you suck!" Although he wasn't the type to break down in tears, the man felt a deep urge to dig himself a hole and crawl into it. Only sheer stubbornness carried him through to the last humiliating note. When it was over, the man quickly bowed from the stage and raced back to his seat. On that walk back from the stage, the man had a thought. I wish I learned a popular song or two. Well, if you look at it that way, you're right, but the story isn't over yet. And part 2 comes right away. With the equipment test wrapped up, the man had returned to his new assignment at a branch office in Shizuoka. Someone called out to him as he was dealing with the transfer paperwork. "So you were the newbie who sang Daimakarov at the banquet in Gifu?" The man's breath caught in his throat. He figured out by now that the main job of his superiors was to flaunt their authority by picking at the smallest mistakes, and then rubbing his nose in them. And the manager speaking to him was infamous for his zealous leadership of his underlings. Frankly, the man was about ready to piss his pants. He swallowed and chewed his lip, bitter thoughts running through his head. What's he going to blame on me? How long will I have to grovel? The manager's words took him by surprise. "I loved that show when I was a kid." The man blinked, dumbfounded by this unexpected development. "You from Hiroshima, kid?" According to the manager, Daimakarov reruns were played relentlessly every weekday afternoon on the local station. In other words, practically every child in Hiroshima grew up watching the show. But the man wasn't a Hiroshima native. In the area he lived in as a child, the Children's Encore Theater program would broadcast old episodes of the show every summer. He just happened to see a few. Even so, the manager must have been really pleased to find a fellow Daimakarov fan, as he began to pull his few strings to the man's benefit. One night after work, the man returned to his bed in the company dorm to find that a white plastic bag had been tucked underneath the sheets on his neatly made bed. He didn't remember putting it there himself, and when he asked around, nobody else had any idea where it had come from. The bag contained a huge jelly roll and a cup of instant ramen. As a new employee, the man had to eat dinner at a set time of 5 p.m. By 10 p.m., lights out time at the dorm. All the trainees would be starving. This supplemental meal was therefore a very considerate present. The man had an idea who was responsible. Most likely his Daimakarov buddy at the top was the only one who could have pulled it off. On top of the early dinner time, learning the ropes as a trainee is particularly tiring. His Daimakarov buddy had probably figured he'd have a hard time getting his young body to fall asleep on an empty stomach. The man actually didn't have a particularly big appetite, and wasn't the type to be troubled by regular meals. But then again, as a new employee, he didn't have much money he could spend freely on snacks and such. Low sugar was extremely welcome. If they get caught, they'll get punished too. So the man split the smuggled food with the other trainees in his room, and they all devoured their shares greedily. As a present from his Daimakarov buddy, at the time they were known as Daimakarov Supply Drop, continued, that talentless, quiet hobbyless triple threat contender for the asocial crown suddenly found himself getting along with the group in the dorm, all thanks to the Daimakarov connection. And 3 months later, when the man's training period came to an end, it was once again his Daimakarov buddy whose recommendation got him assigned to the Chiba branch office he'd hoped for. In other words, when it comes to hobbies and interests, anything is fine. Finding friends you can talk about some common interests with is a really valuable thing. Sometimes something that small can be the trigger for gaining a huge leg up in life. That's the moral of the story. Well, that's right. So when weebs control the world, remember to have watched the anime they like. That's the moral of the story, right, guys? I thought this was a pretty meaningful story. I guess it didn't quite get across. Well, more or less. When you're young, you should mess around with all sorts of things. Just try to find something that grabs you, even if it's stupid crap. After all that spacing out, that's a pretty sharp question. Glance down toward the pile of borrowed books I'm holding in my hands. I suppose right now, I don't have anything other than reading that qualifies. You aren't really listening to a word I say, are you? Well, not to say that you need to. When weebs control the world, he's thought about Noble being next president. Oh man. Go get Amana to make something. Yeah, if I'm in the mood. I see. I learned my own lesson from this conversation. If there's a mention of food in the middle of a story, Makina won't remember another word. I'll have to be more careful next time. Yes, food is what drives her, I guess. Hey, it's 7:10. During my middle school days in America, I got a number of strange nicknames from my classmates, mainly because none of them could be bothered to remember a Japanese name. On the predictable side, there was Jap and Shorty. Family name Kazumi got abbreviated to KZ as well. However, among my numerous nicknames, the only one that stuck through basic training was Gar, short for garbage eater. It's not that I had a reputation for dumpster diving, it's a reference to my tolerance for shitty food. As to how I earned it, the story is very simple. KP made a slop unfit for pigs, and I ate it without grimacing. Freeze-dried scrambled eggs, pork and beans made from scraps of ham, bread with peanut butter, and ridiculously stringy mystery meat were the staples. Every one of them had a weird chemical aftertaste, and they were all disgusting. Rumor had it that the secret sauce was gasoline. As for the chocolate cake we got for dessert, it was more commonly and accurately described as a dessert. That cake was legendary for being inedible. No matter how starved you were, it would end up stuck in your throat as a dry lump. But I ate it, and all the rest, without complaining. Probably because I was living rough from a young age. I've never been what you call a picky eater. To put it simply, as long as my belly was full and my body was getting what it needed, the taste wasn't a concern. So even those 3 torturous meals a day didn't inspire any serious complaints from me. The people around me must have thought I was some sort of freak. And after a while, my nickname became Garbage Eater. Then eventually just Gar. Hey Gar, just how shitty a cook was your mom? I had a sad response to this one. Mom didn't cook much. She was too busy screwing your dad's brains out. As far as my jokes go, that was kind of witty. But that line didn't get that many laughs. I guess my delivery was a bit too stony. Well then, what should I do for dinner? What? What? Where's that random thought? Like, oh yeah, just so you know, I had this nickname. Well, it's probably translated, that's why. Hey, how's it going, Casey? Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. I don't particularly feel a desire to eat, but if you don't take meals at 3 regular times a day, it throws off your body's clock and leaves you more susceptible to fatigue. What if you don't eat at regular times ever? Asking for a friend. Not for me, totally. What? To tell you the truth, I view meals as nothing more than an element of maintaining my physical condition. As long as I'm getting sufficient nourishment, I'm not that caught up on when or what I eat. When I spend any effort considering things like that, all I end up thinking about is how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be make something. Eventually, the act of eating itself starts to feel like a nuisance. My normal pattern is just to throw something together for my supply of canned and dry food. Well, you know. Happy New Year! Spicy's like, what? Yeah, you just realized that name? Come on, Spicy. I know that voice. I don't think she even waited for me to respond. Well, this is my room. Amana barges in like she owns the place, no longer even bothering to knock, but I'm already getting used to it, I guess. Probably because I've experienced a lot of emergency summons. They didn't get to me that much in the first place. As she speaks, I notice that Amana is holding a plate piled with crab legs in her hands.
田からカニが届いたから食べにおいでって言ったじゃんさ。
I do recall such an event. I also recall responding, if I'm in the mood. Not that I'd definitely be there. Yeah, but I said that you and Makina should go ahead and eat if I didn't show up on time.
何？あんたもカニ嫌いなの？
Not really.
殻を剥いて食べるのがめんどくさいでしょ。マキナも同じこと言うのよね。剥いてあげれば食べるくせにさ。
Oh, look, Tits McGee. That's correct, Meth. That's exactly who she is. Wait, what?
剥いてあげれば剥いてあげたであの子。これぞザッツカニパンでしょとか言いながらパンに挟んで食べるのよ。基本的に物の価値が分かっていないっていうか、挙句には言うにこと書いてかまぼこの方がうめえなって失礼しちゃうわよ。
Yeah, it's kind of probably just means that Makina places more importance on how easy it is to eat. Honestly, I think I'd go for crab paste over crab myself.
なによ、張り合いのない子たちね。世の中には食べたくても食べられない子がたくさんいるのよ。
That's certainly true.
分かったのなら文句を言わず食べなさい。腹向いてあげるから。
Look, I wasn't really complaining. I can take care of the shell on my own.
っていうか、私が来なかったら何を食べるつもりだったの？へえ、ご飯は炊いてあるんだ。でもこれいつ炊いたの？なんかカチカチ。
Ah, hey, hands off. I want to wander off into my kitchen and is examining things as she pleases. After confirming the contents of my mess kit cooker, she opens the door to my refrigerator and starts taking stock of my supplies.
食べかけの缶詰の残りと魚肉ソーセージとマヨネーズにレタスとチンゲン菜。何これ？たくあんの缶詰？
What? He has canned pickled radish? Oh, that's so disgusting. Oh, at least buy the regular stuff and just cut it up in Tupperware it, man.
こんなのどこで売ってるのよ。っていうか、いつ開けたの？
That's actually a good point. Where the hell do you buy canned takwang? I have no idea. I opened it at lunch. Get off my back. Why is it that this feels strangely embarrassing? It's not like I have anything troublesome in the fridge. See, he doesn't have porn. He has his refrigerator, guys. In the first place, where does she get off calling canned radish this thing? It's well known among canned food connoisseurs as almost decent and pretty much edible. Nailed. 10 out of 10. We get the 10 out of 10 rating for canned food because it is almost decent and pretty much edible. Is this woman looking down on the brave men and women who have gained courage from canned food throughout the years? Yo, pickled radish is actually pretty good, but from a can. Oh, is that why Phineas, his master, just couldn't cook? As I silently burn with righteous indignation, Lana brazenly starts running tap water into my rice cooker. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Yeah, that's good. I don't care if it's hard. Probably because I'm used to eating canned stuff that comes out arid and stiff as a wax candle. Pretty tolerant of tough food. Oh no, his rations. I don't care, but what are you planning? Oh snap. Well, I suppose pretty much anyone can handle fried rice. Especially for a woman, the somewhat prejudiced assumption is that you'll have a basic skill like that. Well, I'm actually glad this game pointed that out. Yeah, we're gonna assume that all women can cook. No, this one goes, prejudiced assumption. Thank you. I know tons of my friends who cannot cook. Poor them. Yeah, takwang is good. Pickled radish. Fact is, out of all the women I've met so far, the only one who couldn't make edible fried rice was my master. Oh, okay, so we're going into the master can't cook. That did not sound like an egg cracking. It sounded like you squelched something. What happened? Still, I can't quite hide a certain anxiety. Not that Amane is paying any attention, humming to herself as she cracks open the eggs. After shaking salt and pepper onto the eggs, she mixes in the lightly rinsed rice. Then adds a bite of crab meat, only about half of what she brought, and finally chopped radish. She heats a frying pan coated with mayonnaise rather than oil, adds the lettuce and spinach she plundered from my fridge, and throws in the rice mixture according to her own timing. Sticking the back of her ladle into the mix, she vigorously clatters it around the frying pan, mentally stir-frying the food. When Amane decides it's done, she used the bowl as a mold to form the fried rice into a perfect hemisphere, then tossed it onto the plate. This wouldn't look out of place in a Chinese restaurant. Oh. Dressing the leftover crab meat with mustard and mayo, she drops it with a thud on top of the heap of fried rice on the plate. I mean, I just ate dinner like 3 hours ago, but now I'm hungry again. God damn it, Amane! So she says, but it hasn't even been 10 minutes since Amane started to cook. The imposing pile of steaming fried rice on my plate looks pretty damn impressive for something cobbled together out of leftovers in such a short time. Does she just have extra plates around? Neptune also can't cook? Oh, according to the manga. Lala's worse, definitely. Oh, come on. Lala will just make a machine that strips everyone of their clothing. What? Not necessary. Got what I need. The table is a small coffee table from one that Sachi dragged out of some storeroom as a stopgap measure. And the frying pan and what tableware I have are things I picked up carelessly at local 100 yen and hardware stores. And since I'm living alone, it's all perfectly adequate. No point in getting more dishes when I'm only eating off one. Just means more things to wash. Noticing something as she speaks, Amane returns to the kitchen and starts rustling through a plastic bag in the corner. Yeah. I've been throwing my empty oolong tea bottles in that bag, and before I knew it, I had something of a pile, but I was uncertain about the timing to throw them out. With well-practiced movements, she peels off the labels, removes the caps, and skillfully cuts off their plastic rings with the tip of a kitchen knife. Finally, she lightly rinsed the bottles themselves with tap water. Judging from the smooth motion of her hands, she's repeated this often enough to gain the mastery of an assembly line worker. Clearly, she's something of an eco-friendly woman. You know what, guys? Hey, how's it going, Shade? Welcome. Happy New Year. You know what, guys? I think everybody in their life deserves an Amane. Somebody who would do my fucking dishes. I would so appreciate that. That's the one thing I hate doing more than anything else. Anyway, what was I saying? No, I can take care of that much myself. Sorry for the hassle. I mean, I thought that's where you were. With a quick goodbye, Amane heads out of the room, not waiting for my impressions of the crab fried rice. I had the idea that a busybody woman like her would be more likely to hang over my shoulder pestering me for compliments, but she just popped in all of a sudden, cooked for me in a flash, and then left just as quickly. It might be the influence of dealing with that whimsical machina all the time. Let's eat. Itadakimasu. Unfortunately, I don't have a Chinese spoon in this room, so I'll have to make do with the standard Western variety. I jab my spoon into the mountain of steaming fried rice and quickly throw some into my mouth. Not bad at all. Even someone as disinterested in food as me can tell when something tastes good. The salt seasoning feels a bit thin, but this is probably how it should be if you're thinking about healthy sodium intake. Although it would be insulting to compare this to the crap my master made. It's also different from the stuff you get at a high-priced Chinese restaurant. It tastes like your standard fried rice. What's with this flavor? When I was living alone with my mother as a child, I remember eating fried rice that tasted like this. After finishing her day job, my mother would make me dinner before a night shift started. In the last week of the month before her paychecks came in, it would often be a pretty plain meal of fried rice. When all she could put on the table was fried rice with a bit of pink fish paste added, she would apologize as I ate. "I'm sorry, this is all we got." Unlike the fried rice Amane just made, there was never anything extravagant like crab thrown in, and Amane's cooking skills seem to be better as well. So why is it that they taste similar? Where's this slight melancholy coming from? Well, it doesn't matter as long as it's good. When I was a kid, anything I ate tasted good. That part of me hasn't changed too much. Oh, it's like a... No, I really want someone to do my dishes. I would pay if I could afford it. Just for a dishwasher. And not the machine. I mean someone who can wash dishes well. That's the big problem. By the way, story time from anime. So, father anime of mine. He's the kind of guy who used to wash dishes with cold water and without soap. He was put on dish duty once and never again. Just never again. Myself and mother of anime of mine, we were both like, nope, never again. You got to do dishes once. We're like, nope, sorry, never doing it again. And that's why I appreciate the fact that, you know, it might be annoying, but at least my dishes get cleaned properly. Anyway, it's very dangerous to jump to conclusions about someone. When you make a judgment without sufficient information, you're going to be at least slightly off. Whether that's an over or underestimation, it clouds your perception and often comes back to bite you in the end. My employer is exactly the sort of organization that lives and dies by gathering accurate intelligence. I heard a lot about its importance from my acid tongue master as well. Therefore, I make a conscious effort not to label others prematurely. Uh-oh. Suck. What the hell is she doing? What the hell is she doing? That said, every time this Matsushima Michiru girl enters my field of vision, I find myself dying to stick exactly such a mental label on her. She's an idiot. Yo, Michiru. She always has a dumb look on her face. I don't know why. I've been standing in front of you for a while now. Why are you acting like you just noticed? I give her a 60 on that tsundere. Out of 100, guys. I see, I understood. But the utter lack of awareness might cost you your life someday. Please make sure to look both ways for cars before you cross the road. Takes one to know one. I offered an appropriate warning given your actions. Why the verbal abuse? Michiru vigorously throws the empty paper carton she was holding at me. Flying into a fit of rage just because someone tells you something you don't want to hear isn't a good habit. What the? How can people not like this character? She's so dumb. Well, she's so dumb. So greatly dumb. I love it. She's so stupidly stupid. Oh my god. I hope I never have a Michiru in my life. Judging that I don't have a foothold in this conversation, I pick up the garbage Michiru hurled at me and temporarily withdraw from the scene. 100% vitamin C drink. Reading out the description printed on the carton, I tilt my head in bemusement. I've seen plenty of 100% fruit juice drinks, but this is a new one. The parent company of this manufacturer is a pharmaceutical corporation. Maybe it's some sort of undiluted vitamin solution used in beauty products? Or maybe it's not meant literally, and they're just exaggerating to play up the fact that it's packed full of the stuff. Either way, it's a soft drink that emphasizes its vitamin C content above all else. Which means that it's probably incredibly sour and acidic. Must be torture to drink unless you've got a pretty strong tolerance for that sort of thing. So why was she drinking this stuff? From the look on her face, I don't think it was out of fondness for the taste. Some kind of self-flagellation, or maybe.
なぜあなたがここにいるの?
Oh shoot, Yumiko, where you come from? Interrupting my thoughts, Sakaki stares at me suspiciously. Yo, if it isn't Yumin. Oh. Oh.
一応それが私のあだ名なのかどうかその事実だけは聞いておこうかしら
You have to watch out for the nicknames you give, guys. If you give bad nicknames, sometimes a girl pulls out a box cutter on you and tries to cut you for it. Choose your nicknames carefully, okay? Calm down. If you lose your sense of humor, you won't be able to live a fun life.
別に楽しく生きるつもりもないわ
Well, you know, a little enjoyment doesn't hurt, Yumiko. I see. In that case, it wasn't a nickname. Slip of the tongue. Happy now?
本当に腹の立つ男ね
Aggravating as I may be, Sakaki nonetheless approaches me.
手に何を持っているの
This? It's an empty soft drink carton. That blonde girl was drinking it earlier. That blonde chick! I don't know who she is. Do you know who she is? I don't know who she is.
どうしてそれをあなたがまさかそういうのを集める趣味があるんじゃないでしょう
God damn it. Already made a pervert and we're like 5 sentences into our conversation of actual conversation. Is collecting this sort of thing as evil a hobby as that skull implies? I'm interested. Please explain in detail.
検索サイトでも使えばいいでしょ
The internet is full of lies. For some reason, Sakaki is trembling with anger. Seems I still can't anticipate what will trigger this woman's wrath.
話を戻すけどそれ松島さんがいつも飲んでるやつよね嫌そうな顔をして
Oh, so this is normal. Right. I wanted to ask about that. Why is she drinking something that she so plainly hates? Did she lose a bet? Is she being bullied? Was she placed under a malevolent spell?
あなたの思考ってなんというか0か10かしかないのね
Yo, how's it going, Casserola? Happy New Year. Alright, so correct me.
さあそこまでは私にはわからないわあの子とは深く関わったこともないしそもそもクラスメイトという以外の興味もない
Yumiko, just say that she's so stupid you don't want to deal with it. And yet, I'm pretty sure you knew this was Michiru's carton before you asked.
あなたの底意地の悪さは字なのそれとも私に対してだけ
I was just trying to explore an apparent logical inconsistency. The wrinkles in Sakaki's forehead grow deeper and her glare is sharper. Apparently, there are some logical inconsistencies best left unexplored when she's around, specifically those concerning her contrary personality.
あの子お菓子とかもよく食べてるみたいだしいろいろな食べ物に興味があるんじゃないの
Now that you mention it, it seems like she's always carrying those ramen candies around.
あらあなたの方こそ観察が細かいわね松島さんに興味があるのかしら
I like this. Basically, Yuji and Yumiko are like cut from the same cloth. They're two people who are well guarded and who don't want to get too close to people, but at the same time, they're fascinated with observing. Are you interested in knowing whether I'm interested in Michiru?
あなたの前では余計なことを一切言わないように心がけるわそれじゃ
With an extremely displeased expression, Yumiko leaves the roof. There sure are a lot of troublesome girls in this place. After spending a little time sharing a dorm with them, it's pretty obvious that everyone in this place has a few screws loose, and probably a few skeletons in their closet as well. Amane and Sakaki aren't easy to deal with in the first place, and there seems to be more to them than they're letting on. The same is probably true of Maki and Sachi. That said, when it comes to that bottle blonde girl, no matter how many times I try to look below the surface, I keep hitting rock bottom right away. She's got any hidden depths, they're very well hidden. In other words, I've got a persistent suspicion that she's an idiot. Yes! So beautiful. Still, it's too early to label her. I should bide my time and get a better idea of her personality before reaching any conclusions. But seriously now. What are you doing? I'm not spying on you. I just happen to be here. Leaving that aside, are you drawing the character for person on your hand? That's a pretty stale superstition.
何言ってんのよ。これでいつ胸焼けを抑えられるんだから放っておいてよね。
Wait, for heartburn and indigestion? Well, usually, yeah, he said it too. Heartburn and indigestion?
そうよ。これやるだけで治っちゃうんだから。すごいおまじないなのよ。あんたも真似したけりゃ真似すりゃいいわよ。
In the case of Mitra, I think, guys, there are no screws. They're all gone. They've all been lost. And she is what she is. Sure, might come in handy sometime.
その時は私に感謝しなさいよね。
She is so proud of it, too.
みちる様は便利な体をお持ちで羨ましいです。
Sachi, please don't take it at face value. I thought the drawing on your hand thing was supposed to calm you down before a big public speech or whatever. Since when did it become a replacement for azulene sulfolate sodium?
その成分については過分にして存じ上げませんが、みちる様の体内がワンダーランドなのは疑いようのない事実です。
This is the power of being an idiot. You're pretty cruel, Sachi.
何がひどいんですか?
Never mind. Hey, and now it's
ちょっとあまね、待ちなさいよ。
Oh, it's featured in casual clothing. That's a first.
みちる、どうしたの？昨日あまねに買ってきてもらったジュース、思いっきり賞味期限切れちゃってたわよ。嘘、それはちゃんとチェックしてるわよ。ありえないってば。本当よ、これ見てみなさいよ。ほら、5月3日って書いてあるでしょ。
Oh, does Amanda actually have bad eyesight?
1ヶ月も？ちょっと貸してみて。みちる。
Nope, Michiru's just dumb.
何よ、別に責めたりしないわよ。ただ完璧主婦を演じるあなたにもこういう弱点があるということを認め。
That was a komi nasai. You mean gomen?
今年何年か言ってみなさいな。バカにして。今年は2012年でしょ。それぐらいは。2011年です。
Hi, my name is Michiru, and I don't know what year it is. In June. How are you off by an entire year?
そうです。あ、じゃあそれ、その表示ってその。
Wow.
そうよ。ここに書いてある賞味期限2012年5月ってね。あと11ヶ月先なの。わかる？
Beautiful.
だから賞味期限切れてるとか言いがかりなの。なのにあなたは夕飯の準備しなきゃ。あまねも悪かったわね。引き止めたりして。
Oh my gosh, you're running away.
待てこら。人にしょうもない勘違いで疑いをかけたことについて謝罪しろ。
This is just a comedy, guys.
逃げやがった。
Yo, how's it going?
ユージ君、見てた？
I was like, oh wait, does someone have bad eyesight? Like, was that a good hypothesis? Nope. Michiru's just so dumb she got the year wrong. Ever since your polite greeting of "ga" towards your classmate.
あの子を何度も相手にしてたらそういう反応になるでしょ。
I think I can see where you're coming from. Pile enough of these cases together. I can't help but bring my deadline for a conclusion forward. One day the topic of Michiru comes up when we're all gathered together. Incidentally, the person in question is already in bed. An alien. Hey, how's it going, King J? Happy New Year. Ha! Yes! It's been like yeah, I feel like last I saw a lot of you guys was last year. Michiru? A unique theory. What? Wait, what? That a fact? I don't know, when Makina says it this way, I kind of want to believe it. Like, yeah, that sounds actually very plausible. She totally does this. Although I have no intention of taking anything Makina says seriously, the scary thing is when she says this about Michiru, it almost feels plausible. I like how Yumiko's like taking this really seriously. It might be. What? You have a thought about that? I like how we were just like sitting around talking about this girl who's asleep. You're mumbling something interesting, so I was curious. Sorry. Please let me hear your delusions about Michiru the ET when you're in a better mood. Sorry if I rubbed you the wrong way, but try to keep in mind that I don't mean anything by it. Yeah, the vacant head of hers. Wow. Oh, like an inferior, like a retarded clone, right? Alright. Holy crap, girl is armed. Yes. Oh my god, that's really harsh. Wow, she's so dumb she didn't even realize she's dead, so she's still alive. Who knew? Oh man, Sachi is like... She's so harsh. It's like if Michiru were around, she wouldn't even get it. So she's an alien with the devil living inside her now? A devil. Oh no! Looks like Yumiko's weak to this kind of story. What's the matter, Sakaki? Sounds like you suddenly caught your breath in fear. Everyone's like, she might be dumb, but she could totally be this. Really is June. Did Makina literally just scare everyone away to cut this conversation short? Is it really okay to just forget about her? I think she did. Is Makina secretly a genius and it's just like, you know, whatever. Next morning. Having finished my usual morning routine, I'm waiting for the others in the lobby. But for some reason, nobody's showing up. Everybody's late at once? Seems like a bit too much of a coincidence. The pattern so far has been Amane and Makina noisily arriving first, followed by Sachi and Michiru noisily arriving second, with Sakaki suddenly arriving last. The normally rowdy morning is bizarrely quiet today. Did everyone get sick? Just as I'm thinking this, Amana appeared around the corner of the hallway. She's hunched over, hiding the breast she's so proud of. Her hair is sticking up in places and her skin seems rough. Did everyone catch a cold? What, Machina? There's a lot here. You look bad. Your beloved breasts are all shriveled. Of course, I'm just screwing with you. What kind of cold would cause breasts to shrink? I haven't heard of one. Sorry, Yuji is just that kind of person, Amane. Understood, I'll do my best. Where are the others? So we're waiting on the other three. As he speaks, someone appears from around the corner. Oh snap. So I bet it's just gonna be like Michiru and Yuji that are healthy. Sachi, the next to arrive, has an equally severe case of the sniffles. Her maid uniform is disheveled, bringing to mind certain cheap Japanese pornos. That's a weird thing. Oh yeah, the principal's probably healthy, right? I don't think there were many historical periods where catching a cold was punishable by death, Sachi. This is all of us so far. Makina's unconscious in her room. Sakaki. Just as I was speaking, I hear the sound of dragging footsteps from around the corner. She's also dead. It's obvious from a look at Yumiko's face that she's in bad shape herself. She must be pretty out of it since she hasn't noticed that her socks are strangely bunched up at the toe. Her hair is a mess too, with loose strands bouncing around with every step. Mind if I ask why I'm supposed to be leaving? God damn it, she knows. Understood. I won't comment on your bunch up socks or the stray hairs you got all over the place. I'm expecting the sneak attack already. Yumiko's forehead creases in the usual way as she straightens her hair and fixes her socks. The powerful aura of rage that normally accompanies her scowls isn't there. Staying healthy is part of my job. At the very moment, everyone was imagining a certain face. God damn it, she's here! Michiru dramatically appears in the hallway, as if she'd been lying in wait for the right moment to make her grand entrance. Probably because she had, in fact, been lying in wait for the right moment to make her grand entrance. She jabs a finger out at us in an apparent attempt at an impressive pose. Oh! Does she drink that drink so she doesn't get sick when the seasons change? I'm not sick. Also, did you mean negligent? She's whatever. Ignoring me and her own poor grasp of the language, Michiru continues to harp on the negligee group. Oh, mostly the ultimate insult. Like, okay, everyone could accept Yuji. He's a smart ass. We'll take insults from him. But when Michiru is the one insulting, it's like, oh god, I reached new lows I didn't think I could. Likewise, ignoring Sakaki's crankiness, Michiru reaches into the pouch he's carrying, takes out a variety of boxes and plastic pouches, and places them on the common room table.
ほら、ちゃんと薬とかインスタントのおかゆとか用意したから、各自持って帰ってさっさと治すこと。いいわね。
What?
ムカつくけど、今日は反論できない。
Ama's like, damn it, this defeat stings.
ありがたくいただきますね、みちる様。
Sachi's like, okay.
感謝してもいいのよ。つか、感謝しなさいよね。
A truly rare spectacle, the group obediently follows Michiru's orders. The girl seems overjoyed, almost disturbingly so.
こういう時、なぜかあの子だけ元気なのよね。
It's the 100% orange juice, 100% vitamin C, I mean. This has happened before?
なぜか風邪ひかないのよ、松島さんだけ。一時は本気で一服盛られてるんじゃないかって疑ったこともあったわ。
Oh man, could you imagine? Michiru insulting Yumiko, box cutter. Poisoning.
何を考え込んでいるのかしら。
You might not be too far off with that hypothesis. It's just that you aren't the ones being poisoned here.
は
あ？しかし見事に私だけ風邪ひかないわね。なんでなんだろう。
Michiru tilts her head in honest puzzlement. A daily vitamin C intake on the level of self-poisoning, a sleep and activity schedule like that of a grade schooler, and a naturally tranquil, vacant mind. Combining all of these factors, it's no wonder she doesn't get sick often. Oh no! She's like a dumb kid!
まあ、いっか。ほらほら、ユミコもぼーっとしてないで。早く取るもの取って部屋に戻りなさいよ。
言われなくてもそうするわよ。
Poor Yumiko. Poor Yumiko, poor Amane. I feel sorry for both of them. Although her words sound defiant, Sakaki obediently takes advantage of Michiru's kindness. Even for willpower has been weakened by the cold, it doesn't seem like the Sakaki I know. I see. I've gotten something of a new perspective on this girl. Honestly, there's no mistaking the fact that she's an idiot, but without a doubt, she's a necessary idiot for this place. Among this strangely precocious bunch, Michiru is a complete outlier in her lifestyle patterns and thought processes. I guess her presence actually helps balance out the group, in a way.
おかゆ、梅味がない。
ああ、あまねが持ってっちゃったのね。わかったわ。じゃあ後で部屋に持っていくから、薬だけ持って戻りなさい。
わかったわ。ありがとう。
Oh snap, Michiru's like strangely caring. Yeah, Michiru's like the grade school kid is like, yeah, we're all friends.
ユミコも存分に感謝するがいいわ。
She's gonna cut you, man.
あ、いいや、感謝してもいいのよ。
Above all, I'm seriously surprised by the way something vaguely resembling friendly feeling seems to be temporarily present between her and this box cutter woman. Sakaki's apparent interest in Michiru also seems to hint at some sort of positive emotion. Michiru might have some sort of mysterious charm in her own right.
ちょっとユージ。
What?
あんたもぼさっとしてないで、風もらわないようにマスクするとかしなさいよね。ほら、ここに用意しといたから立体マスク。
Oh, shade, that must be true. Yumiko must have been in such bad shape she forgot a box cutter. Very true. Yeah, I'll take one. Taking the mask Michiru thrusts out at me, I return to my room. There are parts of people you can't judge from a unified perspective. Trivial as it might seem, I picked up another bit of knowledge at this school. Michiru. An idiot, but an interesting idiot. I like Yuji's face. Like every time. suck. Several days after the cold incident in the dormitory. Once again, I encounter Michiru drinking something sour in the lobby. From the way she's writhing in agony, she doesn't seem to have gotten used to it in the least. Why are you so caught up with drinking sour things? You don't seem to enjoy them. Do you enjoy making yourself miserable? This is just one facet of a deeper masochistic fetish. I have to demonstrate a certain level of acceptance and understanding. That's his normal face. Oh, she's so stupid. Vitamin C makes you smarter. What? Who published a thesis like that and where? I like to think I have a basic familiarity with the benefits of vitamins, at least. Vitamin C's effects are so famous I'm actually surprised to hear anyone was still researching it. Oh my god. Sardines, the head of tuna? Sardines, tuna, and a positive effect on the intellect. I think I get it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh. Unfortunately, judging from the way she's confusing vitamin C with DHA, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But to explain her mistake here and now would be too cruel. I'm sure she'll naturally discover the truth herself someday. Well, you may not be capable of teaching me much at the moment, but I'm counting on you to help me out if I get sick. Don't worry about it. Just keep up the vitamin C intake and regular sleep patterns for everyone's sake. Spitting out a venerable tsundere stock phrase as her parting shot, Michiru stalks off. I don't stick labels on people prematurely. But regarding the girl named Matsushima Michiru, in consideration of various events up to and including the current case, I've arrived at a certain conclusion. This girl is in fact an idiot. Oh god, she's guys, how can you not like her? She is so dumb, like so dumbly dumb. Probably because I've been living in a world where maintaining a decidedly realist perspective is a matter of necessity. I've never felt any interest in the paranormal or occult phenomena. Such stories are often frauds, created to prey on the weakness of human nature, and more fundamentally, I've never found any meaning in the idea of the supernatural. But in my workplace, where human lives are frequently given and taken, these sort of rumors aren't uncommon. Even a disinterested party like me has absorbed more stories than I can count on both hands. When he got back, he went delirious with fever. His limbs grew numb and eventually totally immobile. When the doctor examined him, they couldn't find any cause for his condition. They threw in the towel and left him to rot in bed. Time for summer ghost stories, guys. Perfect time for it too, right? On the first day of the year, right? Hey, why do you look so worried about it, Michiru? No, that's what really happened, and he died a month later. You guys should all recognize the majority of Yuji's stories end with death. I don't tell lies, even white lies. He's dead. Left me a little something in his will. Wow, that's a really dumb sounding cry. Yeah, I agree there, Makina.
みちる様はびっくり箱のようですね。まさに文字通り。
And Sachi with the passive aggressive insults of Michiru's brain power. Compared to the reasonably calm Sachi and Makina, Michiru is in a state of serious terror. Amane also. Amane's expression is also strangely cramped. From the way her Kansai accent is leaking out, I'd say she's not quite unaffected herself. Don't know. He wasn't that healthy to start out with, so there's a good chance he just picked up some illness that killed him. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Nope. Michiru clamps her hands over her ears and thrashes around, moaning like a wild animal. Though the course of her evolution seems to have reached a new stage, this isn't the time to study the hypothesis. Were you that scared? Sorry. I wasn't scared or anything, just surprised. And scared. Well said, Sachi. Oh man. Understood. If and when Michiru pisses herself, I promise to pay close attention. At any rate, my story's over, so let's stop for now. There are 5 candles in front of us. I blow out the flame on the last one that's still burning. Oh, we do the thing where each of us tell a ghost story and blow out the candle, huh? Sachi turns on the lights and begins to clean up the candles. After dinner, for some reason, we all ended up telling scary stories in the lobby. It was a standard campfire-style ghost stories round, with everyone having a try at frightening the rest. Maybe the lukewarm summer night made for a good atmosphere as everyone got into it. Well, it's not fiction. Welcome back, Casey. If I told you it was just a story now, would you believe me? Alright, got it. That story about the tunnel was all a lie. Also, my coworker's alive and kicking. She doesn't believe it! I think they give up after a few minutes with your brain. Oh man! Ignoring Michiru's hysterics, everyone starts to head back to their rooms. At this point, I realize something's been a bit odd about tonight. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Sakaki. The others pause at my words and turn back around with thoughtful expressions on their faces. I'm pretty sure that Yumiko is probably more deathly afraid of ghost stories than the rest, considering her negative reactions to the occult the night before that everyone got sick. Michiru, her own comedy act, best. True. Yeah, it seems pretty obvious. Maybe she didn't want to deal with us in the group? Given Sakaki's personality, I can't imagine her voluntarily participating in this sort of social event. My guess would be that she just shut herself up in her room since she couldn't avoid running into our gathering if she went downstairs.
いや、あの子って別にそこまでこういうイベント嫌いじゃないわよ。
Really?
まあ積極的に参加してるかというとそうでもないけどね。でも参加しておかなきゃって意志みたいなのはあると思う。
Oh. I'm gonna nod at Michiru's words.
そうね。普段みんながここで集まってる時もあそこに背中くっつけて立ったままで話聞いてたりするもんね。
She points to a pillar on the edge of the lobby and the hallway.
はい。だから今日この場にいないことは比較的異変のように感じます。
Somebody tells me she showed up and then immediately left. I see.
ユミちゃんは分かりやすいテンプレみたいなクーデレだから照れてんのよさ。お兄ちゃんがちょっとスケベ心出して突っ込んだら、だってそんな恥ずかしいじゃないって速攻落ちるに決まってるのよさ。
Okay. Okay, Makina, thanks.
はい。それぐらいの対応はあってしかるべきではないかと思います。
Guys. I'm not going to, make her fall head over heels for me yet.
榊さんは精巧なロボットのように的確なクーデレぶりを常時発揮されますし。
I'm glad that we all have our label for her now,
今回の
kudere.
一件もそれに起因するものであるのはもはや明白であると思われます。
私なんか今すごくユミコに同情しちゃったわ。
Wow, when the dumb Michiru realizes we're making fun of her, making fun of Yumiko.
同情？なんで？
Without these two dense airheads not realizing that they are.
ひょっとしてチルチルも分かりやすい属性持ち同士、その辺は分かり合える部分があるとかそういうの？同族意識？チームプレイ？なあ、顔背けてねえで言うのよさ。
うるせえ！あんたのそういう必要ないじりに同情するって言ってんでしょうが。
大きな声を出さないでください、みちる様。急に大声を出すとお体に触ります。私は無鉄砲に生きるみちる様が心配でなりません。
Wow.
サチもなんかなそういうの。
Wow. As I watch Makina, whose abusive tongue and nasty personality are growing more pronounced, Sachi, whose cyber-like reactions are growing more dramatic, and Michiru, who's growing more victimized by the day, I find myself growing a little curious about Sakaki's way of life. What? Come to think of it, since that box cutter incident was resolved a few days ago, I don't remember exchanging anything but very basic communications with her. I don't intend to pry too deeply, but for the sake of a smooth school life from this point on, it might be a good idea to learn a little bit more about her. Hey, there's something I want to ask you guys. Do you have a few minutes? Oh. And we do a cut. Huh. King, if fapping is taking too much time for you to search for a job, there's a problem. That's way too much fapping. Anyway. Huh.
危なかったのよさ。
はい。さすがに勘が鋭いですね、榊さんは。
Oh snap, are all of us spying on her? When you're being followed by this many people, of course you're going to notice. Yesterday evening I tried lightly asking the others about Sakaki's daily life and habits, but the answer I received in return provided much flimsier information than I had expected. The one thing we know about Sakaki Yumiko is that she doesn't let people see much about herself, much less her private life. Our only real glimpses of her thoughts are hints from her gestures and body language. In short, Sakaki's lifestyle is a vaguely defined mystery even to the people she's been living with. Without an active effort at observation, things are likely to stay that way.
だからこそ、ユミちゃんの生態を調査するのよ。
Probably 80% of idle curiosity, Makina and Sachi ended up volunteering to cooperate with my investigation. That cooperation has taken the form of an incredibly sloppy tailing operation that was nearly given away in a matter of seconds. To be honest, they're nothing but a burden, Makina in particular. I asked the wrong people. What's the matter? I don't know. Yes, of course I'm sarcastic, King. Didn't you know? No, forget it. Things get bad, it's every man for himself. Putting aside any reflection on the basic question of why we're doing this for later, we continue our investigation of the highly mysterious Sakaki. That's fair. Lying limply on her side on the sofa in the lobby, Makina mumbles a few grammatically scrambled words of complaint. Karishi, I'm sure that Mutual would find a way to survive the incident, though. Even though it actually would happen. What? Darwin Award winners are the world's true heroes, Shade? Really? Sachi flops down next to me, having a tired sigh herself. Well, her guard was even tighter than anticipated. After spending an entire day following Sakaki's every movement outside of class, we gained absolutely no new information. During her free period, she reads books and absorbs silence. Her pace in school was always steady and regular, without any suspicious, hasty movements. Walking rock. Just as Makina says, Sakaki's behavior was reminiscent of a machine. You're one to... well, whatever. You're not wrong. But I don't think I can be satisfied with this. From what I heard yesterday, Sakaki doesn't dislike being in a group with the others. Even if she doesn't participate in the conversation, the way she's constantly lingering at the edge is easily comprehensible from the perspective of human psychology. That doesn't fit with her machine-like actions in the daytime. In the first place, does she ever let her emotions show on her face? Apart from the hostility Sakaki showed me at first, I haven't seen any evidence of an emotional reaction from her. Sachi raises her hand and speaks somewhat hesitantly. Oh. Startled. I like this random chibi drawing. Sakaki? Doesn't seem like she'd bat an eyelid even if the dorm exploded under her. I'm kind of surprised got a reaction out of her. In response to my question, Sachi continues in slightly hushed tones. Instant yakisoba? Oh yeah, I've had that type of yakisoba before. The boom scene. Not interested in the brand name or product features. What does that have to do with Sakaki? Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. True, it'll make a sound if you dump it all at once. Oh no! Oh. Just leave it like this. Oh, Sakagi did that. With that cool and calm appearance, you never think she'd be startled by something as small as that. In reality, she must have a pretty low tolerance for sudden scares. I kind of want to see that side of Sakaki. I'm not particularly likely to run into her at the exact moment she's draining her instant noodles. Because given Sakaki's personality, I doubt she'll make that same mistake twice anyway. Although I wouldn't mind seeing her cautiously filling the sink, preparing a strainer, intensely draining the hot water either. Unfortunately, I doubt she'll do that twice. What? Makina lightly jumps off the couch, floating a diabolical grin. Oh, this is gonna end poorly. We'll be apologizing for months, guys. Come on. What are you saying? Just as Sachi says, when you consider the aftermath, trying a stunt like that on Sakaki seems like a dangerous plan. But Makina's malicious curiosity seems to outweigh her awareness of the risk. Uh-oh. What? Are they talking on their phones? Intelligence arrives from our detached unit, namely Sachi. Is this really going to work? Uh-oh, what are we doing? Just as Makina says, I'm hidden near the hallway observing the scene. Oh my god, really? Are we all here? Sakai climbs her way up the stairs, approaching the second floor hallway. In that instant, Makina calls out instructions to her cell phone. At Makina's signal, Sachi cuts the breakers of the hallway from the other end of the phone call. Sakai is taken aback from her brief moment. But her voice quickly regains its usual steadiness. Once again, her footsteps ring out in a regular rhythm. Well, maybe in the cover of Darkness, Yumiko will know this. Right as Sakaki approaches the door to her room, Makina presses the switch in her hand. Sakaki twirls around at the odd noise, but finds nothing more than a flower pot sitting demurely on a nearby shelf. In the unremarkable earthenware pot, there's nothing but a small decorative plant. Sakaki sighs in relief after discovering the innocuous origin of the strange sound. But she hasn't taken her eyes off the houseplant yet. Makina, ultimate evil right here, guys. As Makina whispers these words, she presses the switch a second time. Just then. The perfectly normal houseplant abruptly splits in two down the middle. From its depths, an object resembling a giant eyeball emerges. Although it might be different under bright lighting, seeing this thing pop up at you in the dark must be something of a shock. As expected, Sakaki freezes dead on the spot, her eyes and mouth open wide. Something that might be an attempt at speech and might be a simple gasp leaks out of her mouth. After a moment, she draws in a great breath of air. And a loud voice I never could have imagined emerging from Sakaki's mouth, she screams. Sound echoes throughout the dorm. It's not just that she's loud. Unlike her normal low, vaguely threatening tone, Sakaki's voice right now is remarkably girly. Oh. Although I feel a little sorry for Sakaki as she trembles in terror, this is truly This is a truly interesting spectacle.
ユミちゃんマジ驚きじゃない。どれどれ、どんな顔してる？エッチな顔とかしちゃってる？
Makina, calm your horniness.
あんた鬼だわ、本当に。
Yeah, no, it's true.
ちょっとチルチル、もうちょっと見せてよ。ここだとあんまし見えない。
Oh, they are so dead.
あ、ちょっと押さないでよ、マキナ。
Losing their balance, Makina and Michiru tumble from their hiding position, landing in front of Sakaki. At this point, Sakaki finally grasps the nature of the situation.
ユミコ、どうしたの？停電しちゃったみたいね。
You're dead.
急な停電だったからびっくりしたのよさ。
Wow, you guys are bad at acting. Just as Sachi returns with exquisitely bad timing.
やりましたね。お見事です。作戦は大成功。
After adding some exquisitely unhelpful lines, she clamps her mouth shut. Yumiko looks around the face of everybody on the scene and then glances down at herself.
どういうことかしら。
The tone of her voice has completely returned to normal.
いや、これはね、ちょっと理由があって。
This song sounds like bad things are going to happen. Everyone better run.
チルチルがやろうって言ったんだよ。
Uh-oh, that betrayal.
おま、濡れ
チルチルも楽しんでたんだから同罪だよ。粛々と無所暮らしするがいいのよさ。
Now you have to do the time.
だったらあんたも罪を償えよ。私一人悪者でしょ、今の言い方。
そう。何が目的かわからないけど、あなたたちが仕組んでいたのね。
You guys are dead.
報復は覚悟の上ということでいいのね。
落ち着いてください、榊さん。
ユミちゃんが怒った。
なんで私の方めがけて追っかけてくる。ちょっといやー。
As the perpetrators scatter around the dorm, Sakaki tracks down Michiru. There's murder in her eyes. She's waving her box cutter around like the incarnation of wrath. Where did the person who let out that cute scream go? Don't think she's going to calm down anytime soon. Turning my back on the violent turmoil taking place on the upper floors, I head downstairs by myself. Get away with it like a champ! Yo, you're up early.
誰かさんに下劣なドッキリを仕掛けられないよう早めに学校へ行くことにしたのよ。
After that, Sakaki caught the criminals and beat the details out of them as they groveled in penance before her. As a related party myself, I was called before her to receive my own interrogation. In the end, she heaved a truly exasperated sigh and without any particular retaliation returned to her room with heavy footsteps. Good idea. Don't know about Sachi, but Makina and Michiru are probably still asleep. Sorry. Sakaki reaches her hand into her pocket, presumably containing her box cutter, glaring reproachfully at me. I raise my hands dramatically over my head in an attempt to demonstrate my lack of a hostile intent. In response, Sakaki sighs deeply, passes by my side, and strides off quickly in the direction of the school building. So mind if I ask you something? And I'm just gonna go along with her, of course.
これ以上私に何の恥をかかせる気なの？
As I follow a few steps behind her, Sakaki answered my question with her own, her voice hard with an attempt at intimidation. I'm not looking to tease you or look down on you. It really is just a question.
わかったわ。じゃあ手短に言ってちょうだい。
Did you know everybody had a late night gathering in the lobby 2 days ago?
そうみたいね。
So she was aware of it after all. If you knew about it, why didn't you join in? From what the others told me, you don't particularly dislike that sort of event. It's because of those scary stories, man. If me being there made it awkward to join in, could you say why? I need to know before I can try to correct my behavior. I'm clearly an alien existence in this school, much less the dorm. I don't intend to trample on the native people's territorial rights or the dignity of their culture. Not that I plan to be particularly submissive either, but still. As much as possible, I like to aim for peaceful coexistence, meaning I need to understand the boundaries I shouldn't cross. For that reason, I want to know why Sakaki absented herself the other day, especially if it's connected with me in some way.
別にあなたに直してほしいところがあるわけじゃないわ。
When Sakaki was wielding her boxer, yes, it was a murder yard. Oh, okay, in that case, why? In response to my question, she hesitates for a moment. Rather than being uncomfortable about speaking her feelings to me, I get the sense that she's reluctant to admit the truth to herself. After a silence about 20 seconds, Sakaki finally speaks.
私、怖い話とか嫌いなのよ。
Truly unexpected words for everybody who cannot read the situation. But for me, yeah, we know. What did you say just now?
そんなに意外そうな顔を向けないでくれる？
Oh, Yuji probably looks really surprised, that's true. Apparently my face is easy to read, as Sakaki reproached me with a resentful expression.
あなたの言う通り、別にあそこに集まったりするのが嫌なわけじゃない。けど、いいでしょ？人には苦手なものだってあるんだから。
Judging from the way she got scared by the sound of a sink denting and the dramatic success of the prank yesterday, I did gather she was your standard scaredy cat, but it just feels weird hearing her actually come out and admit it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, just seems really out of character.
あなたに直してほしいところが一つできたわ。
What?
その無神経さよ。少しは人に気を使ったらどうなの？
After Sakagi speaks those words, she makes a beeline towards the school building without stopping or looking back again. From her dignified bearing, there is not the slightest hint of the person who shrieked at that prank. Guess I should just leave this alone from now on. At the first step towards mending my apparent insensitivity, I decide to refrain from teasing her further. At any rate, through this incident, I've discovered that even this stone-faced cutter woman has her cute side. Stone-faced cutter woman. Deliver a message? Imprinting. Newborn chicks identify the first thing they see as their parent. The term refers to this sort of rapidly formed, durable conviction. Today, almost anyone you ask will have heard something about the phenomena, but fewer know that imprinting isn't limited to the animal kingdom, but also occurs among humans, even average female students. This particular discovery is the product of my own recent experience.
Kazami-san, konbanwa.
Oh. Yeah. When I leave my room, I find Sachi heading toward the second floor with a deck brush and bucket. Is this a set cleaning time for the dorm?
いえ、そういう決まりはありませんよ。
Then why are you carrying a bucket and deck brush?
それはこれから大浴場の掃除をしようと思ったからです。
If I remember correctly, you told me a contractor comes in to clean that bathroom.
はい、その通りなのですが、業者さんが私たちも毎日来られるわけではないので、日頃の手入れはお願いしますと言っていたので。
So you're cleaning it on your own initiative?
はい、時間があった時はみちる様やあまねさんも手伝ってくれるので、そんなに大変じゃないんです。
Well, I don't see them, so... Guess that's sort of a class rep-esque, but more importantly, you're intending to clean it in that outfit?
はい、なるべくメイド服でというのが皆さんからの希望なので。
When you can, huh? Considering the vagueness of those words, I'm a little concerned about how she's interpreting them. So, when you go out, what do you usually wear?
メイド服です。
How about when you're studying in your room?
メイド服です。
When you're in the bath?
すっぽんぽんです。
When you're sleeping?
メイド服です。
I get the picture. Basically, she's in a maid uniform pretty much every moment she's not in school. No wonder the principal says she wears them more often than not. But wearing a service uniform even when you're sleeping is a little... Wait, don't tell me you don't have any other clothes. So what? You just really enjoy wearing that uniform?
どうでしょう。最初はただ着ているという感覚だったのですが、よく見るとところどころにあしらわれたこのフリルも可愛いですし、今では往年来から愛用していたもののようにしっくりきています。
Oh. So basically she likes the clothes themselves. In that case, Sachi, let me give you my opinion on your style. Fundamentally, men are simple creatures. Rather than clothes with a narrow appeal like a maid uniform, we prefer a simple, straightforward, erotic look.
つまり、すっぽんぽんということでしょうか。
That's a bit extreme. Also, it takes time and effort to change the appearance of your body itself.
ということは、下着?
Right. For example, I'd imagine you're wearing modest underwear appropriate for a student, but what do you think would happen if you, the class rep, flashed everyone a peek at unexpectedly adult lingerie?
どうなりますか?
That momentary glimpse of your unpredictability would dramatically shift the way people perceive you.
なるほど。目から鱗です。
In conclusion, underwear isn't something you hide. It's something you show off. Keep that in mind.
なるほど。下着は隠すものではなく、見せるものでもある。下着は隠すものではなく、見せるものでもある。
What is usually trying to teach her? But if you go past a casual level with this, it'll backfire on you. Do it in moderation. Well, that should be common sense, but...
覚えました。
Alright, I think I've gotten my point across.
はい、わかりました。
With those words, Sachi headed to the second floor. At that time, I'd forgotten something very important. At this school, there are students for whom common sense doesn't always apply. Oh, something's gonna happen, huh? Yep. When I entered the classroom, I exchanged greetings with Michiru, who was as usual the first to arrive. Next up, Sakaki arrives, taciturn as usual. Perfect. The energetic cicada sisters follow. I forgot he gave her the nickname. And finally Sachi in her underwear. Her underwear? Whoa! The four others freeze up at the unexpected spectacle. Oh, the maid. Coming to her senses, Amana grabs a maid uniform from Sachi's locker and throws it over to her. Wow. Once Sachi's on-the-spot changing is complete, Amana sighs in relief. Oh man. Sachi's reply is a word-for-word repetition of my advice from yesterday. Although that's admirable in a way, it seems the warning I added at the end went in one ear and out the other. They both know who's on it. And these withering glances of scorn aren't exactly comfortable either. Sorry, but my proclivities are pretty normal. I'm not going to get off no matter how much you glare at me. Could have sworn.
この状況でどこをどう間違ったらそういう考えになるのか、こっちが聞きたいくらいよ。それに、そういうことを言って得する人間は今この学園に一人しかいないと思うんだけど。
じゃあ犯人はお兄ちゃん？
最低。
Oh, damn. With Amana's words, the other two turned their glares on me as well.
ねえ、ユウジ君、ちょっと聞きたいんだけど、もしかして昨日、さっちゃんに何か言った？
I did tell Sachi that underwear is more popular among the male population compared to a maid uniform. I didn't mean to demand that she come to school wearing nothing else.
あんたにそういうつもりがなくても、サチがそう思ったら同じことなの。
Well, I guess that's true. So this works on the same theory as schoolyard bullying?
サチはアマネなんかと違って純粋な子なんだから。
Oh no!
それ、どういう意味？
Uh-oh. War's breaking out, guys.
ああ、ごめん。ただの例えってだけだから。
Wow.
例えならいいって問題でもないと思うんだけど。
あの二人に任せておくと話が進まないから代わりに言っておくけど。
Oh man, you go stepping up. Please.
小峰さんは融通が利かないというか、言い方は悪いけど、頭にバカがつくほど真面目なのよ。
So much so that she'd hear wear a maid uniform when you can, and then wear nothing else from the next day on?
そうそう。って、なんであんたがそのこと知ってるのよ。
She told me herself the day I transferred in. Sachi confirms my words silently.
まあ、今まで私たちに聞いてこなかったのが不思議なくらいだったしね。
Yeah, no.
上に同じく。
そういうわけで、とにかくサチは純真なの。ピュアホワイトなのよ。
No one's as stupid as Michiru, let's be honest, guys.
ちょっと前、十徳ナイフのことを説明した時にも言ったと思うけど、サチの前で軽はずみなことを言うと、こう誰かみたいに後で泣きを見る羽目になるんだから。
True, it's pretty lame the way she keeps calling you Michiru-sama.
人がわざとぼかして言ってるんだからはっきり言うな。
I thought she was indirectly asking for the follow-up, but it seems she actually thought she was being very vague. And she wasn't, because she's dumb.
他にもメイド服のまま水泳の授業を受けようとしたり、
寮の屋上からロープを垂らして外壁の掃除をしようとしたこともあったわね。
She sounds unusually athletic for a class rep.
仕事を選ばないのがクラス委員ですから。まあ普通のクラス委員は着衣水泳をやろうとしたりロープとかの真似事はしないと思うけどね。とにかくそういうわけだから、いい加減なことをサチに吹き込まないように。
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
小峰さんも女の子なんだからもう少し慎みを持った方がいいと思うわよ。
はい、その線引きが非常に難しいですけど頑張ります。
I'm pretty sure Sachi will never be able to learn those boundaries in this school.
よし、じゃあユージのこともギャフンと言わせたことだし、1時間目の準備でもするとしますかね。
And Yuji is about to retort to this line right here, right?
さっきのやりとりの中でそんな部分あったかな。
Nope. Everyone's just gonna point out the inconsistencies instead.
そこは言わないでおいてあげるのが優しさってもんなのよさ。
小峰さん、意外に大人びた下着を持っているのね。
Yumiko's like, uh-oh, do I have to step up my game? Apparently finished with their warnings and advice, everyone except Sachi returns to their respective seats.
すみません風見さん、私のせいで皆さんから怒られてしまって。
No, nothing to apologize for. I don't think I worded my advice that well. I'm impressed by your willingness to put your body on the line. So this time, I think I'll teach you about how to casually emphasize your underwear. Yes, you don't casually come to school in only underwear, Sachi. This is Yuji and Sachi's stupidity, I guess. They say that for a parent bird, raising one chick to adulthood is a work of a lifetime, but for a transfer student, making friends with a classmate of the opposite sex is pretty rough in its own way. Yep. Hey. I think on that very, very hilarious moment as well. I think we should call it a night, guys. It's been fun. Happy New Year once more. We'll do this again next week, hopefully. Even if death comes knocking, I'll punch them out. I've done it in the past. Wait, what? Anyway. I'm punching death out, guys. Give me a moment. Anyway, this animefanrk2k here. Thank you very much for watching tonight's Monday Night Livestream. I hope to see you next week for another Monday Night Livestream or anything else. So, peace.